I hear Phil Jackson tell Gary Vitti, hey, get us some hotels in Indiana, because that's where we're going to play in the finals. This is like before game one in the finals, and like it didn't hit me until we got to Indiana.
Or maybe he just knew that they were the best team in the East.
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I heard the man say. We haven't even played one game yet. They were back in the meeting. He's like, yeah, get us some, hotel rooms in Indiana. I don't want to stay in Indiana. I want to stay on the, outside of Indiana.
Are you happy they cast you in the role of Shaquille O'Neal?
Yes, I'm very, very happy. And I'm glad we beat Reggie Miller.
I told you. It's scripted. It's fake. The NBA is rigged. It's entertainment. They already know who's going to win the finals. They already know who's going to have a great season. They already know what star they're building up to have a great career and a great season. They know where to scout and pick the right players that has the same skill set as a LeBron, Shaq, or Kobe. So a lot of these players you see drafts, you see stars, you see as the main caliber guy with trophies, they already know that these players was going to get it. They have plays and everything set up for these players to win. And a lot of the shots that you see them make, Curry, LeBron, there's a magnet in the ball and there's a magnet on the rim. And the plays that they have set up is already set for that player to make the most points and make the game. It's scripted. Wake up. It's not real. And a lot of things you see is the entertainment, even the boxing matches. Fake.
So you probably thought this was only something from the movies. Well, if that's what you thought, check out this interview.
I was chief of disguise.
What all did that entail?
The office I worked in was like the Q in James Bond. We were the Q for the CIA and the intelligence community. So there were different parts of it. Whatever you needed, if you needed a bug, if you needed secret writing or a microdot or a concealment device, or whatever you needed, you had to come to us and we'll put something together for you. One that has to stand out. I went to the White House and I briefed George H.W. Bush, the president at the time, while I was wearing a full face mask. So we're sitting like this close together and I'm telling him that I'm going to show him the best disguise that we have. And he's looking for a bag, like, where is it? I said, well, I'm wearing it and I'm going to take it off. And I reached to start taking it off and he said, stop. And he got up and he walked and he looked and he looked at it. He didn't know it was a mask. He wasn't sure what I was wearing. He sat back down. He said, okay. So I took it off and I was holding it up in the air so he could see it. My whole head. It had hair and a face and a neck.
So you could walk around as someone else?
Absolutely.
And that would be the disguise?
Absolutely.
So it kind of makes you wonder when you see pictures like this or video like this.
Tis my honor.
What do you guys think? Seems like they always have to tell us, right?
The Book of Enoch says something really, really interesting. It said that the fallen angels who came to earth sinned against the animal kingdom. What does that mean? In Greek mythology, in Greek mythos, we have centaurs, minotaurs, fauns, all sorts of weird stuff. The question is it really mythos? Or is it based on something that happened thousands of years ago? There was an article in some paper, this is years ago, and it stated that a bunch of scientists in England created artificial embryos and they mixed the genes and they created chimeras. But rest assured, don't worry folks, they destroyed all those chimeras. The point is, if we can do it in modernity, why not thousands and thousands of years ago by the denizens, the dark angels, the fallen ones that came here to planet Earth and did the unthinkable. It's all real. If you've never read the Book of Enoch, may I suggest, get a copy. Go to Amazon, get your own copy, read it. If you were going to keep one book out of people's hands, it's the Book of Enoch. And it says very specifically that the fallen angels sinned against the animal kingdom. And that's the mixing of the seed, and that's a no-no. I am L.A. Marzulli.
Maybe you don't believe in the rapture, but do you believe in the reverse rapture? What I call the reverse rapture theory. 3 quick pieces of evidence from the book of Matthew, the book of Revelation, the book of Enoch, and even out of Jesus' own mouth. You see here in Enoch chapter 1, right at the very beginning, he starts off speaking to a future generation, a far off one, where the ungodly and wicked will be removed, but that God would make peace with the righteous when he came back. Matthew 13, the parable of the wheat and the tares. He said, let them both grow together to the end of time when the harvest is ready. Then you see here in verse 30, it says, gather together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Reverse rapture style, gathering the wicked up first. Check out here in Revelation 14, the pattern again of the angels with the sickles and harvest time. You see 2 beings here coming with sharp sickles. It says, and another angel came out of the temple, thrust in the sickle and reap. Harvest time. The sickle was thrust and the earth was reaped. And then another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, also having a sharp sickle. Then as you see in verse 19, the second angel thrusts in his sickle into the earth, and he gathers the vine of the earth and casts it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. Also fascinatingly enough, you see the angel of fire, an angel with the power of fire, another indication and insight on how the spirit realm works. Elsewhere in the Gospels, it mentions this reverse rapture reaping process. It talks about 2 in the field, 1 will be taken, 2 in the bed, 1 will be taken. And this is all in the coming of the Son of Man sequence. And also fascinatingly enough, it says that the sign of the Son of Man will be in the heavens. Wonder what the sign is. Possibly the cross or the Star of David. Put a plug on my page about a series of symbols, fascinating deep dive, and all sorts of other stuff that you definitely want to know. And in Revelation it says, he who endures to the end will be saved, and the meek will inherit the earth in the Gospels, and also the peacemakers inheriting the earth, being called the children of God. Which full circle takes us back to the first chapter of Enoch, where it says that when he comes back, he will make peace with the righteous. We definitely see patterns of reaping in a reaping process, also a reverse rapture style reaping of the wicked, thrown into the winepress, or the tares thrown into the fire. It makes you wonder if any of these patterns or resets have already happened in the past a bunch of times. And that's possibly why whole civilizations have just gone missing, and there's so many mysteries. Massive rounds up or spiritual Tower of Babel-like reset scenarios. People being taken, spread out, or taken to never come back. All fascinating topics to ponder. As is this future almost alien-style invasion Return of the Messiah sequence. Better than any movie, and the ultimate climax of the story could be at hand. Either way, hope you're ready. Make some wise choices. See you next time.
You see a car battery that has corrosion around it, which means that the alternator in that car is going to have trouble keeping that battery charged up. Well, the tooth just above it is attached to a muscle battery, but it also has corrosion, and thus it also has trouble keeping that battery charged up. And then as corrosion in either your car battery or your tooth gets worse over time, then it gets harder and harder and harder and harder to keep your battery packs charged up. And eventually, in the car battery, the corrosion will come outside the battery itself and start corroding through your battery cable, which now means you have a total short circuit and your car won't start. Process occurs in the body when the infection in the tooth moves out into the bone. So when you have infection in a bone around a tooth, it actually works just like a circuit breaker and takes down that circuit. And then the 2 circumstances in which that occurs is either a root canal tooth, which is of course a dead tooth. The problem is that now the tooth is dead and all dead tissue gets infected. The dentists are the only physicians that believe you can get away with leaving dead tissue in the body. No other doctor believes that. When it gets into the bone, it shuts off that circuit, and so now the voltage drops significantly in that circuit, and that's why you find we looked at all the cancer patients we've seen in our clinic, and 95% of them are associated with a root canal or an infected bone where a tooth had been pulled. 95%. There's a problem when teeth get pulled because teeth are held into the bone by a ligament called the periodontal ligament. What dentists are trained to do is wiggle the tooth, make it loose, take it out, put a stitch in, quit, leaving the ligament behind. When you do that, it's very hard for the bone to heal because the ligament's in the way. And even if the dentist happens to be one who takes the time to scrape out that ligament, because the mouth's such a dirty place, oftentimes people get infection in the bone during the first few days of healing once a tooth's been pulled. So and that's called a cavitation, by the way. So whether you have infection from a root canal or from a cavitation, it tends to shut down the circuit. And one of the problems is that infection in the bone then tends to move over and take out the next circuit. He came out last year showing that 65% of root canal extractions were unnecessary. Well, nevertheless, they get their wisdom teeth pulled, and now they start getting infection in that area. And the wisdom teeth circuit is heart, small intestine, but listen, it's the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system is the body's on-off switches. So all of a sudden, within days after getting their wisdom teeth extracted, the kids have lost their on-off switch. Over time, it begins to move next door and takes out the spleen-stomach circuit. Now remember that the spleen circuit is the power supply to the adrenal glands. So now soon they've lost their control panel, their on-off system, and then they lose their adrenals, so they can't deal with stress, and so they began to become what many people say, oh, he's just a teenager. Well, no, he's not just a teenager. He's lost his ability, the whole way the body deals with stress. And so many of our kids hide themselves within electronics, because within the electronics, they have an on-off switch. In their body, they don't. So they can't deal with the real world anymore. And so they hide within their cell phone and their Game Boys or whatever you call them. When you lose your ability to make adrenaline, you go down the following slippery slope. You have trouble going to sleep. You have trouble dealing with stress. You have trouble with your memory. And then you can't multitask. Somebody says, hey, do you want mustard or mayonnaise? You become very annoyed because they interrupted you. But you don't have the mental horsepower to stay attached to whatever you're doing, so you detach, you pick mustard, you go back to your book, and now you can't remember your place, and you're even more annoyed. And then it gets to where you don't like any stimulus, so you don't like loud noises, loud music, rowdy crowds, can't be around people who are arguing. And eventually it gets to where you don't even want to be touched, you just want to sit in the corner and have people leave you the heck alone.
Where are the images from Christopher Columbus? Where are the 1492 ships? And we talked about this in multiple other videos. Where are they? They have a picture of the Santa Maria, which I thought was really interesting. There's the ship that supposedly came over, right? What's interesting is if you look at all the emblems on the ship, but here's the part that doesn't make any sense, right? And this is why I like to connect the dots. You have this ship, right? But look at those high-rise buildings in the background. Those are pretty big. So people supposedly coming over on these ships were also building high-rises in the back of the city. This is a building in California, and it goes by each state. Look at that. Look at that architecture. Just remarkable, right? The amount of detail, the arches. Big Bang Theory must have included those buildings too. Yes, when they were doing Big Bang, they were talking about Big Bang of these things because they were getting rid of a lot of this stuff because there was so much beauty. Now here's what's interesting. This is Raisins, California building. And I'm going to turn this and try to get you guys so you can see this. But that is a pyramid.
If Jesus is Jewish, why are we Christian? Good question. First of all, Jesus was a Jew by ethnicity, meaning he was a descendant of Abraham, but he was also a Jew by religion. The reason why Jesus wasn't a Christian is because what a Christian is a follower of Jesus. It wouldn't make sense for Jesus to be a follower of Judas. This is why we as Christians don't follow Judaism today. Imagine if you were looking forward to your grandparents coming over for a very special dinner. You haven't seen them in so long. They finally arrive and dinner is served. But instead of you sitting at the table with your grandparents, you're still looking out the window at the front of your house, waiting for your grandparents to arrive. What are you doing? That doesn't make sense. Go sit at the table and enjoy your grandparents' company. They've already arrived. In the same way, the Jewish people were looking forward to the Messiah arriving. He came, he was Jesus Christ. He came and gave up his life for us. If we trust in him, we'll have eternal life. But unfortunately, Judaism today is still thinking he hasn't come. They're looking out the window, waiting to see, when's the Messiah going to come? When he already has. He gave up his life, he's risen again. and will come once more. Yes, we accept the entire Old Testament, the Jewish scriptures, but we also accept the fulfillment of them, Jesus, and what the New Testament says about him. And so that's why we're Christian, and why Jesus calls everyone to be a Christian. That is, a follower of him.
Lods, ano po ba malakas na black magic sa India o sa Pilipinas? May mga na-encounter din tayo mga pangyayari sa kaibigan, family dito sa Pilipinas, pero sa India, ibang level, guys. I'm telling you, ibang level, solid. Wala talagang unbeatable country. There are some documentaries, movies about black magic. Sa Netflix, gusto nyo manood. Example, yung Shaitan. Nasa Netflix po, gusto nyo panoorin nyo po yan para magka-knowledge kayo about black magic. How it's
Your middle tower is under attack. Fortified.
Flashmate!
You've thought this through?
Your bottom tower is falling.
In there shall be shakers by the
are fortified.
As I will. By my wings.
Take me as you are, push me off the road. The sadness, I need this time to be with you. I'm freezing in the sun, I'm burning in the rain. The silence, I'm screaming, calling out your name. And I do recite in the light, put out the fire with me and find. Yeah, you lose the sight of your circles. That's what I'll do if we say goodbye. To me is all I gotta be, and all that I see, and all that I need is time. To me, the life you gave me, the day you said goodnight. The calmness in your face that I see through the night, the warmth of the light is pressing onto us. You didn't ask me why, I never would have known. Oblivion is falling down, and I do recite in your light, put out the fire with me and find. Yeah, you lose the sight of your circles. That's what I'll do if we say goodbye. To be is all I gotta be, and all that I see, and all that I need is time. To me, the life you gave me, the day you said goodnight. If you could only know me like your prayers and I, and everything between you and me will be alright. To me is all I gotta be, and all that I see, and all that I need is time. To me, the life you gave me, the day you said goodnight. She's already taken, she's already taken, she's already taken me. Sino ka lang? Sino ba akong walang dating sa'yo? Di tayo bagay, sobrang mong ganda talaga. Di ko alam hanggang kailan tayo. Di ko mabago ang ikot ng mundo. Pero sama ka sa aking biyahe. Atin lamang ang araw na ito. Kung buhay o sinasakyan lang yun. Di ko alam kung saan. Pag sumama ka sa aking biyahe, iaalay ko ang puso ko. Okay, sarap kong kasama. Habang problema, ang damhin mo kay sarap ng dilim. Pag-ibig kita, akala ko mapipigil ko. Nakatulog sa'yo. Sa aking biyahe, atin lamang ang araw na to. Buhay o sinasakyan lang yun. Di ko alam kung saan. Pag sumama ka sa aking biyahe, iaalay ko ang puso ko. Sa iba ito'y laro lamang, away-away puro selos lang. Ang iba'y nagsisisi, ang sabi sa radyo, wag mo raw pasukan. Wag naman, di ko alam hanggang kailan tayo. Ikot ang mundo. Pero sama ka sa aking biyahe, atin lamang ang araw na to. Buhay ay sinasakyan lang yan. Di ko alam kung saan. Pag sumama ka sa aking biyahe, iaalay ko ang puso ko. Iaalay ko ang puso ko.
Tis my honor. It is my pleasure. Just so.
Indeed.
When you let go, I'm down. By my wings. I'm down. I'm not ready. Yeah! My power is summoned.
Radiant structures are fortified.
You have no cause
Dire
for
structures are fortified. The enemy's top tower has fallen.
When you land. Yes. Just so. As it is in my power. I know. Be it now!
The enemy's middle barracks has fallen.
My power is
The enemy's middle barracks has fallen. The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
by my wings.
Because of you, babe, I lose control. When you look at me like this, there's something